The Earth, our world. And yet a mere century ago, we knew only a small fraction of its surface. But man, with his ever-increasing, seemingly insatiable search for knowledge, began to roll back the barriers. A new breed of man, intrepid and resourceful, began to search for the impossible. Commander Robert Peary reached the North Pole in 1909. Roald Amundsen conquered Antarctica to reach the South Pole 2 years later. And in 1927, Captain Walter Snetterton, least known of all English explorers, decided to go across the Andes by frog. Walter Snetterton was a soldier and amateur zoologist who dedicated his life to the study of amphibians. He was obsessed by their potential for survival in hostile environments and at high altitudes. After 8 years of frog research at the Royal Zoological Institute, Snetterton felt ready to test his theories in one of the most inhospitable mountain ranges on Earth. In March 1927, he left for the town of Quequeña in Peru.
Come on. Get those. Careful with the frogs.
Hardy outside to Ferguson, and Ferguson a long raking ball across the field to try and find the head of Irving just inside the Arsenal penalty area. But it's the burly form of Baker who rises above the goal mouth to hit that one firmly away to touch. Still no score, but the pressure is increasing now on Arsenal. And this is Sloane with the throw-in, a mere 10 yards from the Arsenal goal line. And it's Ferguson who picks it up. Kennedy tries to tackle. Ferguson rides it well, pushes out to Keynor, finds Keynor. Keynor turns it inside to Curtis. Curtis to Ferguson. Ferguson's up to it. And it's slipped in. Ferguson has scored for Cardiff City. For his goal. What is it? Staked by Lewis. Whatever it is, the referee has indicated that it's a goal. And Cardiff go 1-up in a tremendously exciting 1927 Cup final. The crowd are erupting. No, I must confess I have to. But certainly Wales has taken this magnificent well, 19 minutes left, and Arsenal keep on turning like that.
Right. Get the frogs in the shade, Sergeant Major, and give them plenty of slime.
Right! Turn! Bearers! Hold out! Put those boxes over there! Go on! Put the boxes over there!
Come on, move it up. Get them in the shade. Well, there doesn't seem to be any official welcome of any kind.
No, sir. I noticed that, sir. Remarkable absence of an official welcome, sir. Any rag, sir? What? Hey, sir.
No.
Isn't that peasy? Eh?
And take the ball safely away and up inside the Arsenal half again. But the referee judges that there was a foul there, so Arsenal are in with a chance again. It's
Hello?
The kick. A good straight pass to Gray. Straight pass.
Hey, what you doing? It's the cup final.
We are the expedition from England. I'm Captain Snetterton.
Please, only 15 minutes. Cardiff 1-0. It's a great final.
Please, we have come here to cross the Andes.
I don't know.
You want me to clout him, sir? Actually, make up the face.
No, Sergeant Major.
Hello?
Hello?
And it's Keynor inside to Irving.
Captain Snetterton?
That's right.
Oh, my name's Gregory. I'm the vice consul here. Come and have a woman.
No, thank you. I have to get the frogs housed. I want to do a quick recce of the approach slopes of the Cordilleras before nightfall.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course, I only got your telegram yesterday. That's why the place isn't quite, There was going to be a band to meet you, a political prisoners band from Lima. Excellent.
I'll tell you what you can do. Get me a couple of guides.
Guides?
Guides. For the mountains. I want men who know those mountains backwards. Every ravine, every track, every gully.
Yes, I'm afraid you won't get anyone tonight.
What do you mean?
Well, it's cup final, especially if Cardiff win.
Listen, man, if we can walk 104 miles in 5 days, the least you can do is provide me with a couple of guides. I want them here by 6.
Oh, not on cup final night, Captain. It's a big celebration of the year.
All right. All right, but tomorrow at first light.
It's Wimbledon fortnight.
Wimbledon fortnight?
Yes, they won't give up there. They won't give up there, Wimbledon.
Mr. Gregory, those frogs have been in training for months. They're mentally and physically at their peak. A delay could be fatal.
I suppose I might find someone. They're not all of them interested in the early rounds, but I cannot promise you the best.
I don't care how you do it, Gregory. I want a guide who knows those routes. I want them soon.
Yes, of course, Captain. Score?
Cardiff 1-0.
Tackled by Kelly for Arsenal.
Captain Snetterton.
Morning, Mr. Gregory.
I've managed to find you a guide.
Oh, good man.
Manata, Atawa Manata. Yes, she knows the mountains like the back of her hand. Both her sons were mountain guides, the best.
Well, why aren't they here?
Both dead, I'm afraid. Fell down a ravine.
But surely she's not them.
That's the best you'll find in Wimbledon fortnight.
What does she say?
She says, great win for Cardiff. Thank you.
On May the 9th, 1927, shortly after midday, Snetterton and R.S.M. Bing made the first reconnaissance with their new mountain guide.
I think these boulders are too smooth and sharp for a frog assault, Sergeant Major. We need some sand or gravel-based approach so the frogs can grip. Excuse me? Excuse me? Can you tell her to stop, Sergeant Major?
You know what stop is, sir?
Well, it's stop in Spanish. Stoppo. Arresto.
Oh, I know what stop is in Norwegian, sir. It stands it. Stands it!
She's not going to understand Norwegian, Sergeant Major. They're Spanish.
No, that's not Spanish, sir. They're Indian.
Well, say something in Indian, for God's sake. She's going to be in Brazil in 20 minutes. Well, go on, use it, man.
All right, now, what was it? Damasi, I think. Damasi!
Damasi? Oh! Si, comprendo! Si.
Ah, that seems to have done the trick. Well done, Sergeant Major. Right, carry on. We did not ask for schoolgirls.
She says that the fat one specifically asked for schoolgirls.
We merely asked you to go no further. We wanted you to stop. Do you understand? Damasi.
Oh, you did ask for schoolgirls. Well, if you'd only said so, I was promptly going to fix you up.
All I wanted was for this so-called guide to stop rushing around all over the Andes. There was no mention of any schoolgirls. We merely asked her to stop
Damasi means schoolgirl.
charging around like some... Sergeant Major. I'd like to see you back in my tent immediately.
Shall I, bring the schoolgirls?
Shut up.
The frogs are restless tonight, Sergeant Major.
Yes, sir. They're now, sir. Near the thunder. They know the rain's coming. Like first night on the stage, sir. They want to get going. Like what if you was playing Hamlet, sir? You want to get out there, get a few belters, then you're all right. That's what the frogs are feeling, sir. They're in a right old 2 and 8.
Fascinating thing, the frog mind.
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you know you could carry on a conversation with a frog, Sergeant Major?
Oh, yes, sir. So they say, sir.
Oh, yes. I've often chatted to them, you know. They have a surprisingly wide vocabulary. You see, each croak contains within it thousands of little resonances, a whole complex variety of variations and modulations which can express dozens of concepts, thoughts, ideas. Do you realize, Sergeant Major, that with each inflation of the vocal sac, oink, the frog is expressing a whole theory of amphibian social organization. Oink, this is my territory. Oink, this particular piece of vegetation is my own.
I like watching them mate, sir. They get into their mouths, sir.
Oh, no, of course they don't.
Well, they got no organs, sir. Imagine what life would be like if you had nothing in your trousers.
What on earth's going on out there?
You better come quickly, Captain. Spot a bother with the frogs.
Oh, my God.
By Jove, they've got one of the boxes.
Shall I let them have it, sir?
No, far above their heads, Sergeant Major.
How about above their knees, sir?
Above their heads, Sergeant Major. We don't want to lose their goodwill by killing them.
As you say, sir. I better just shoot a couple of them, sir.
No. Let me talk.
Remember, they don't speak English, sir.
No, it doesn't matter, Sergeant Major. It's the attitude they respect.
Now then, what's going on here, eh?
Put that down as once. Yeah? Right. Who's in charge here, eh? Come on. Who organized this? Come on. Ah. Well, what's the meaning of this? Hey?
Signor, no. Posso litigarle poteo. Donde está muy borroco and piquilluna. Tentativo me chichonaka. Asin pakame o sin pego, chiqua. Juan mentakwe. Juan de. Casa grande, casa. Oh, ma. Ha! Catacha! Immediatamente, glorioso muchachos Piero e squadra dienti, tiro ed fundamentalmente organizzante diverso. Noche, machas, los machas, meguama!
Pedro, a quarte. Over the Verde, a quarte.
What's the matter?
Oh, don't worry about it. He wants a 3-chamber National Assembly, universal adult suffrage, land reform, abolition of censorship, all sorts of nonsense. I mean, half the stuff they haven't even got in Europe yet, let alone here. A quarte. Now, what's going on?
Please, you're alarming the frogs.
Yes, quando lavoro. Yes, it's trouble, I'm afraid.
Why?
Well, I'm afraid they say that is because of you.
What, the thunder?
Well, it's not thunder, my boy. I only wish it was. No, that's El Misty, the volcano.
El Misty, Italia mananti El Misty. Titica, dos restemestocos, restas titica.
Yeah, I'm afraid he says the frogs are bringing bad luck to the village. They're making El Misty restless. He'll rain down fire and ashes.
Titica.
And molten lava.
Titica.
And it's ruining the radio reception.
Well,
in prison, our souls are appealing to the gods.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not going to let a lot of superstitious claptrap get in the way of an expedition. Boxes! Get away from those boxes! Get away from those boxes! Here. Mr. Gregory, tell these people to get back to their homes immediately.
Señores, mañana se puede hablar de estas cosas, pero me parece que es mejor ahora salir.
Mount a 24-hour guard on the frog boxes, Sergeant Major.
Sir!
I'm holding you responsible for the safety of those frogs.
Don't you worry, sir. If anyone looks at them boxes, I'll let them have it right in the orchestra stalls.
Guard the boxes, Sergeant Major. You don't have to kill anybody.
Oh, you've got to kill somebody, sir, if you're guarding.
No, you don't have to. You only have to look as though you would if you had to.
But you've got to be prepared to if you do have to.
All right.
Right. And I got your permission to kill someone, sir.
No. I'm not going to give you carte blanche to kill just anybody.
Oh, no, sir. Only if I have to.
Yes.
Right.
So if they so much as glance at them boxes.
If they come up to the boxes, if they attempt to release the frog, and if they ignore all your warnings to the contrary, then, and only then, may you be forced to use them.
And kill them, sir.
All right, but don't go on about it.
Oh, no, sir. Don't you worry, sir. You leave it up to me, sir. I'll give them a warning shot, sir. Between the eyes.
I say, old boy, want a bit of advice? Get out while the going's good.
I'm afraid I'm not used to the word failure, Mr. Gregory.
These people have been living with that volcano for centuries. You can't just walk in and tell them it's a lot of superstition.
The expedition will go ahead as planned, Mr. Gregory. And Quaquania will remain our headquarters.
Well, and so I didn't warn you. Gonna be trouble.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Double the guard on the frog boxes, Sergeant Major. We can't afford to take any chances.
Sir! Johnson, come over here! At the double!